Hello everyone, this is Nintendo Guy, and yesterday I was talking about Luigi's Mansion 2, and now I'm going to talk about Nintendo's newest console, which is the Nintendo Wii U. And yes, this will be the last E3 2011 video that I'll be making this year. But I thought I'd sit down and discuss my thoughts and opinions about Nintendo's newest console. So, to begin, what features does it have? Well, let's see. It's backwards compatible with Wii games. It has its own library of Wii U games. It's got high definition graphics, which are more advanced than the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. I will talk about the HD graphics in just a moment. There is a bit of motion control. It's got camera, and the controller has a bit of motion control. It's got a camera feature. It's got a touchscreen on it, and you can play the game with the TV turned off. And you can play your Wii games or Wii U games on the controller because the controller's got a touchscreen on it. The controller itself is so huge. It's larger than a Sega Dreamcast controller. I mean, this thing looks pretty large. There's a whole bunch of other features on it, so I suggest you go do some research on it first for more information about it, but I thought that's just the main key things that the Wii U has to offer. So I guess let me ask a few questions about the system, because I'm kind of wondering here. Is the system backwards compatible with Nintendo GameCube games? Does it play DVDs? Does it play Blu-ray? Will it use friend codes? Can you get achievements on the system like the Xbox 360 or PS3? Oh, and also, can you download WiiWare games and Virtual Console games onto the system? And how much memory will the system hold? And how much battery power will the controllers themselves take? Because let's face it, they have a lot of gadgets and gizmos on them. Surely the controller itself probably has to take up a lot of battery power. So how many AA batteries is it going to use, or is it going to use its own charger cord? That's pretty much all the questions I was just curious about. Just thought I'd ask. According to Nintendo said that the Wii U. They're trying to market the system to hardcore gamers and casual gamers, and I hope Nintendo succeeds with that. Even though I personally thought the original Wii itself was just fine, though. But there's a lot of third-party game companies that are willing to make games for it. There's going to be a new Assassin's Creed. There's going to be a new Ghost Recon Online, and just a ton of first-person shooters. And the controller itself has two control sticks on it, so it's easy to play first-person shooters on it, that's what Nintendo's shooting for. And the graphics themselves are going to be HD, so more powerful than the Xbox 360 and PS3. Now, there's one thing that kind of concerns me, because, to be honest with you, I'm really not a huge fan of HD. You see, once upon a time, I was playing Dead Rising on the Xbox 360 on a standard definition TV. The text was so small I could not read the instructions that were given on screen because the graphics were so high definition. It almost seems like you're forced to buy a HD TV just to play certain games. Now, since the Wii U is going to be HD, it kind of concerns me a bit. I do believe there might be a way that Nintendo can fix this. You can play Wii U games on your controller because there's a screen on the controller. The screen itself should be HD built into it. So if you can't read small text on screen, I guess you could just switch to the screen that was on the controller. Maybe that could possibly help. The system itself will use CDs, and so far Nintendo hasn't announced any games for it at the moment. They're still in development on the system, and they're still working on it. The system, according to Nintendo, the system will not be released till 2012, which I think is a little bit early. I think the Wii should still need some space. because I still like the Wii, and I think Nintendo might have released the Wii U a little bit early. But I don't know if the system's going to be any good or not, because so far there hasn't been a lot of games announced for it. So franchises like Mario and Zelda and Metroid and Kirby, it's kind of a wonder of what Nintendo's going to do with those franchises on this new Nintendo platform. Um, yes, I believe that the system is going to be pretty expensive because let's face it, it's HD, and it's HD, and there's a lot of technology built into the system, and it looks like a pretty expensive game console. So don't expect it to I'm expecting the system to be over $300 to tell you the truth. And if it's going to be that expensive just because of the HD, then really that's kind of disappointing though, because graphics aren't everything, you know. That's pretty much all I have to say about the system, my thoughts and opinions. Is it going to be a good system? Only time will tell, because nobody knows yet. So, this is Nintendo Guy saying take care and see you later.